let's go ahead and talk about the actual video. And the video I want to do today is addressing a question and something that bugs me. And actually, this addresses beta software. And for those of you who do not understand what a beta is, or what it means, or whatever, stay tuned. This video is for you. I really want to make this video to address what beta software is, why you shouldn't run it, who should be using it, and why. Because this annoys me every summer. What is the number one beta that I see, especially for my Facebook people? What is the number one thing I see people running in the summer that they should not be running? That is the betas of iOS on your iPad or on your phone or iPod, if you still own one. And again, the only people who should have access to the betas are developers. What these people are doing are you're either torrenting them, or you have someone you know, a tech friend of yours, is torrenting it and putting it on your phone. And I don't recommend this, and I'm going to give you a reason why. This is more of a rant video, so if you're expecting quick entertainment, you're not going to find it here, sorry to say. This is more of a video of me ranting about beta software and why you should not be running it. But I think this video is going to open some of your guys' eyes of why you should not be running beta software if you do not understand what it is. Because every summer, and people get the betas of iOS every year, and all the time, I'm seeing people complain that, well, it made my phone unstable, it's buggy, it's slow, my phone crashed, and I lost all this, and Apple sucks, and all that stuff. And, I want to address this because it really is annoying, and I even get messages about it every single summer, and I get tired of answering these questions, and I get tired of seeing all this stuff every summer, and I hope this video will help some of you realize that if you don't understand what beta is, don't play with it. So that's the whole point of this video. Beta software, what is it? A beta technically means it is a pre-release. It is an unfinished pre-release piece of software that is not finished. That is the whole term of beta. It means it is unfinished. And you guys should not even be running it. I mean, yes, I know, especially with iOS 7, with the all new redesign and everything, everyone was eager to get it. I understand. I was just as eager to get iOS 7 as well. I mean, iOS 7 factored in a whole new interface. It took iOS into new territory that it's never had since its first introduction in 2007. So, I mean, it really ushered in a new era for iOS. And there was a lot of, I want it now kind of thing. But, still, you shouldn't have had it if you are not a Apple developer. And what are developers? These are guys who build apps, or girls, guys and girls who build apps for the Apple platform, whether that be for iOS, OS 10, or coming up now, watchOS, which is for Apple Watch. So for those of you, and I know a couple of you who are in that program, so if you are, great, all access out to those betas. But if you're just an average user who's not a developer, who doesn't build apps, who just wants it because you want it, I'm going to steer you away, and I hope this video will help you steer you away from iOS 9 beta. Again, I don't mean that iOS 9 is coming out. 9 is not going to come out until probably September of 2015. So we still got a long way to go before iOS 9. I know that a lot of people want 9 already after the horrendous update that 8 is. But that's another tirade for another day of why 8 is a buggy POS. But I'm trying to keep it PG because this is also going up on my YouTube channel. So I'm trying to keep it a little PG here. But if you do not understand what a beta is, you shouldn't be running it. And the risks of running a beta are, usually betas are unstable, especially the iOS betas. They're exceptionally known for being unstable. And unstable means that it crashes, apps crash, the entire system crashes. It's just not a stable OS. It's not meant for daily use. And, that's one of the big problems of running a beta. Another one is you could lose everything. If your phone crashes and you lose all your data, well, that's another big problem. You have to go and restore. And so, I mean, that could become a big problem. And if you don't back up to either iTunes or iCloud, I highly recommend backing up to iTunes. I think that's the best way. plugging your phone in directly to your computer and doing a full backup to iTunes. I think that's the best way of doing it. You should always back up, and Apple even tells the beta users to make sure that you have a backup before you install, because when you install that beta and it crashes, you have to restore your data, and you have to restore everything, and that way you can restore it and you're not out anything. So that's another big problem. And number three, your apps that you have aren't coded for it. I mean, sure, they probably run, but they probably won't run well until they are updated for the new version. Take iOS. None of the apps that people were running on iOS 6 were designed for iOS 7 during the beta period. So during the beta period, if you were running the iOS 7 beta, you'll notice the apps didn't really fall in line with the entire new UI because none of the apps were updated to take advantage of it yet. They were in the process of being updated while you were running that, which you shouldn't have been doing. And people will probably fuss at me because I run betas, and people fuss at me for it. And I'm sure I'll probably get fussed at it for it, but I'm going to tell you why I run betas, because I understand what a beta is. I know the risks, I'm willing to take the risks, and I understand the consequences. So if something happens, I'm not going to blame Apple, I'm not going to blame anybody but me. It was my own fault for running the beta, and it's just an unfinished piece of software. This is a consequence of running something that isn't finished. And a good example of that, I ran the Yosemite betas. And I had Yosemite before anybody else I knew. I know one person who's in the developer program, and I knew I know a few people who did the public betas, but a few of them actually reversed their decision and actually went back to Mavericks until it was released. But I was a lone ranger. I decided to go ahead and go for it. I ran the Yosemite betas on my MacBook Pro, and understand, my MacBook Pro is my workstation machine. It is my daily computer. I really wanted to run the betas for a couple of reasons. One, I like it. I like beta software. There's something about beta software that I like, and having access to it. There's something about it that I like. It makes me feel important. The second reason I wanted to do it was because I wanted to help Apple improve it. I mean, the whole point of the public beta program is to have the average public to come in, test the OS, and then have all the bug reports sent into Apple. So that way they can compare your stuff with the developer stuff, and then that way they can fix any problems that arise. But I ran the betas because I understand the consequences. I had a crash happen to me. I mean, I forgot what beta I was running. I think it was maybe beta 2 or 3. It was early in the beta process. I think I had a system crash, and my computer restarted, and it gave me that your computer restarted because of a error thing. That's the kernel panic message, and I just shrugged my shoulders and said it's a beta, because that's exactly what it is. It's a beta. Although I will say this, Yosemite was very stable throughout the entire beta process. Throughout the entire beta period, Yosemite was really, really stable. That was the only crash I had. And I feel privileged to be one of the people who got to test it early and to put in feedback. So some of my feedback helped improve it. So you guys better enjoy it because I did send in a few bug reports, actually more than a few. I actually sent in several bug reports during the entire beta process of bugs that I had. And any problems and quirks that I had. So you guys better enjoy it. I risked my Mac for you guys. I'd rather risk the entire stability of my computer rather than having you guys put it on your Mac and having you complain that it's buggy and slow. Actually, you know what? If Apple were to do the same thing with iOS, I would be more than willing to put the iOS betas on my iPad. I mean, I would have no problem with it. I mean, so in that way I can do it for you guys, and that way you don't have to do it. I don't think Apple will ever open iOS up to the general public like they do OS X. I don't think they're going to do that. Although they might surprise us someday, and they might actually do it, but I don't think they're going to. I mean, I want to punch something. But anyway, I better end this video, because if I don't, I'm going to end up punching the wall. I'm going to smash my fist right through the wall. But just to sum up, guys, if you don't understand what beta is and you don't want to take the risks, and the risks are too much, don't do it. Just be patient. I understand. We all want iOS now and OS X now and everything. But just wait, guys. Wait. Patience is golden. Patience. So I'm going to wrap up the video, guys. I've been talking for way too long. I'm going to see if I can edit out any useless crap out of here and make this shorter for you guys so you're not wasting your life watching this.